defense was that the F-111 was a technological trailblazer that incorporated so many new systems that major problems would almost certainly be encountered. Both the Air Force and General Dynamics realized that despite the development problems, the F-111 was a winner, so they began improving the design. Despite the F-111's long evolution, very few external changes are noticeable. One minor one, the deletion of the moving air intake cowl and its replacement by the demand-activated inlet door, distinguishes the early A version from other models. By the time the modification program was completed, the F-111 had become a near-perfect plane. The Tactical Air Command used 4 different strike versions of the F-111. Externally, they were almost identical, but they varied considerably in cost, depending on the electronics packages used. The F-111 was also adopted by the Strategic Air Command, which needed a replacement for its older B-52s and B-58 Hustlers. SAC's new strategic bomber was dubbed the FB-111. The SAC version had a longer wing and a strengthened landing gear, but otherwise was similar to its cousins in the Tactical Air Command. Today, the F-111, once only designated a fighter, now also flies alongside B-52s as a strategic bomber.
It is still probably one of the premier bombing planes in the world, bar none. I mean, there's not many people in the world that can bomb as well as we can, that can go as far as we can, and there is no one in the world that can go as fast as we can near the ground. And we can outrun F-16s and F-15s.
I think everybody's had a scary moment at one time or another in the aircraft. The one I had that I remember occurred in Turkey when I was training low level in there. And we had a simulated attack by an F-4. We were low to the ground. We made a hard turn into the F-4, and I had some computers go out on me, which caused the aircraft to start wavering in the yaw axis. 200 feet or so and low to the ground, and the jet decides to go down. It's not a fun feeling.
In 1972, 4 years after its first test in combat, the F-111 returned to Vietnam as part of Operation Linebacker. Within 33 hours of leaving home at Nellis Air Force Base, planes were striking targets in Hanoi. This time, the results were very different. Flying alone or in pairs, the planes of TAC's 474th Fighter Wing notched up 4,000 successful sorties in 6 months.
Go ahead on into altitude, hold, and heading nav, and engage the autopilot. Working good.
Okay, we're coming up on our entry point at about 5 miles. We'll be turning right to a heading of 101.
Okay, coming right here. I'll go out and back and fly past on the radar altimeter. Put the left channel and TF, and we'll put the right channel over to the situation.
Okay.
Ready to start on down deck?
Roger.
Okay, auto TF, start down.
Okay, I'm picking up ground returns now.
What's the attitude indicator? Let's see. Coming on down the east scope, ground returns coming in, and the radar altimeter clicked in at 5,000.
Roger, we should level off about 500.
Get down to 1,000 here now, coming up. 700, 600, and it's leveling off real fine, 500 feet.
Okay, it looks good over here. I've got a ridge coming up at 5 miles on the scope, and it's dead ahead, going to 5 over 15.
Okay, target's about 3 miles on my e-scope now.
Right. Okay, we should be passing in about 10 seconds. Okay, I'm going to target, and we're in target, and I'm picking up returns. It looks good. Crosshairs are falling good.
Got the captain's mark.
In the whole operation, only 6 aircraft were lost, giving the F-111 the highest survival ratio of any combat aircraft in the theater. The F-111 returned from Vietnam with its reputation dramatically enhanced, and criticism of the plane became muted. Later support for the wisdom of the swing-wing bomber concept came from the Soviet Union. Their Su-24 Flinzer was patterned virtually bolt for bolt on TAC's fighter bomber. Two major modifications have dramatically increased the F-111's potential. One was devised by Grumman, the company that designed the Navy's F-111 model. Grumman's EF-111 Raven project found yet another use for this versatile airframe. The Raven project takes early model F-111s, strips them down to basic components, then completely rebuilds them as electronic countermeasures platforms. In the Raven, the second crew member is an electronics weapons operator who uses sophisticated equipment to disrupt enemy radar. This provides a curtain for other attacking aircraft. The Raven can be used in 3 different ways. First, in a standoff jamming role, providing protection for other aircraft from a distance. Second, as close air support, going in at low level to give ground attack aircraft electronic cover. And finally, the Raven can fly with an attacking force deep into hostile airspace, jamming enemy radar as it goes. This system was used extensively in the Persian Gulf. Another major modification fitted to new F-111s is PaveTac, a self-contained standoff weapons delivery system. PaveTac uses an infrared TV camera coupled to a laser rangefinder designator to place guided bombs or missiles on target. PaveTac components are fitted throughout the aircraft, but its major component is the PaveTac pod, which is fitted on a rotating cradle in the bomb bay. The pod is retracted into the bay when not in use. The PaveTac pod is equipped with electro-optical sensors, infrared TV camera, and laser. Its movable pod head provides complete coverage beneath the aircraft. Targets are tracked on radar and steering corrections are made. At a distance of approximately 3 miles, the target is identified on the TV display and the infrared imagery is switched on. The video picture permits extremely accurate target tracking. The laser-guided bomb is released. the aircraft turns away to avoid the bomb blast and anti-aircraft fire. The forward-looking infrared continues to track the target and point the laser. 5 seconds before impact, the laser is activated to guide the weapon. This is an actual AGM Maverick missile launch. The missile crosshairs are placed on the target by the weapon systems operator.